that on yet either? No. It says I'm live. It says, oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, all right. Man, what a morning. Man, can you imagine? Man, well, listen, I know everybody doesn't know. Anyway, broadcasting live from the WDC studios. Oh, my goodness gracious. School is back, ladies and gentlemen. School is back. Anyways, here we are broadcasting live from the WDC studios out of the University of Richmond. Once again, you're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. The phone number 804-289-UR90. 804-289-8790. If you have a particular cartoon theme that you would like to request, that's what we do here. I open up the phone lines. It's a broadcast risk. It's a broadcast risk opening. A lot of times people don't open up the phone lines. They don't, but I do, and I take song requests from from people for cartoons. Now, I did have some things already. What was it? Yeah. Well, we had it. We did have things set up. But of course, Lord Blanket, they said this, Lord, what is up with that Lord Blanket spot at the beginning of the show? What do you mean they pay for that? They pay for that spot. They pay for that spot so they can sit there and tell everybody that they've been disrupting. I'll tell you what was disruptive. I thought about showing up this morning at around 8 o'clock. And I said, well, you know what, Sam, you should show up at 8 o'clock, start your show an hour early, and then run until 11. I said, that might be a good idea because it might be a little crowded. And daggone it, if it was not crowded, it was slam-packed. It was slam-packed here. I was barely able to find a parking spot. The driver, Jerm was barely able to find a parking spot. He was barely able to find it, but we were able to make it. And of course, now we're here. A couple of other interesting things, a couple of business things here right before we get started. Of course, we are broadcasting live here on the radio, WDCE 90.1 FM. We are also on Instagram. The Sam Cam is live on Instagram. Sam Cam is live on Instagram. That way you can see me. You can see me while I'm chatting and talking. And it would do me no good if I told you I was an actual media puppet. You couldn't see the puppet talking. Well, I'm a real media puppet. Well, yeah, of course. Well, it makes me upset every time that someone else refers to a human as a media puppet or a political puppet. Here I am, a real puppet. But yes, you can see me live on the Sam Cam at Sam Newsman on Instagram. At Sam Newsman on Instagram. And also we have this little guy up here too. This is the YouTube camera. We have a YouTube camera up here now as well. YouTube camera goes mute in between segments when we start playing cartoon themes. And of course the Instagram, the Sam Cam, we cut that off and then we cut it back on in between. So just to kind of give you guys a heads up of how the show works, how the show operates. And once again, I did have some things prepped already, but let's see here. Oh, we don't have, no. Oh, okay. Yes. That's what it is. I think I understand what it is. Yes. Okay. So I was given a request last week for two different cartoons. I can't seem to find the other one just yet. I did have all of this set up. Once again, we had all of this set up, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. It's been a busy week for a lot of people. A lot of people have been on vacation. Like I said, the students are back here in class. We got some information about local students as well. I could talk about the UVA Richmond Spiders game. Well, we can talk about that in a little while. We'll talk about that. Yes, I have that. I have that. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. It is coming up in a couple of weeks. UVA and the U of R. We'll be talking about that here in just a little bit. But of course, the Richmond Times-Dispatch. I was going to get today's, but I decided to get today's Washington Post. But I have, of course, here with me the Richmond Times-Dispatch, and of course, you can see it there on the Sam Cam as well. This is from yesterday, yesterday's news. But it is something that we should talk about, being that students are now back in school. Virginia students' SOL scores trail pre-pandemic performance. That's what it is. That's what it says. Virginia student. Well, we're getting back into school, so we might as well talk about the students. Virginia students' SOL scores trail pre-pandemic performance for the second year in a row. Virginia public school students fared worse on the annual state accountability test than in years before the pandemic, according to statewide scores that were released Thursday. Across all grade levels, 66% of students overall passed the mathematics exam, compared with 82 who passed in 2018 and 2019. So it's dropped from 82% to 66%. I'm not sure if you got that, but that's where we're at right now. Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. I know that all of you passed your exams in school. I know that's the case. Anybody else listening to the show, I'm sure that you did too, but we wanted to make sure that all of you know what is happening with our little ones at the moment. Science passing rates also plummeted statewide from 81% in 2018-19 to 65% this year. So math and science all the way down. Yeah, math and science all the way down. Yeah, yep. Well, that's almost what? About almost 20 percentage points within the last 2 years. Math and science. The overall reading passing percentage slipped by 5 percentage points from 78 in 2018 to now 73%, according to scores released by the State Department of Education. In the Richmond area, as school districts recover from significant dips in test scores during the pandemic, the city continues to lag behind neighboring counties. So, yeah, so they were saying, of course, that I think that no one passed the math SOL. Did we get that right? Hold on. We do have it. Let's see here. Well, let's see. Passing rates. Well, that's what, no. Okay, so here it is. So there is passing rates. Here it is. So the passing rates. All right, so we have the passing rates. We have Richmond, we have Chesterfield, we have Henrico. So let's go through all three of them real quick, and then we'll get, of course, to some cartoon themes. Wanted to just take our time real quick as we started, because I saw the students, so I figured that if I saw the students around, might as well discuss student affairs here locally. Yes, I know that it's public education around here, and this is a private institution, but I figured that you'd want to be in the know. Richmond passing rates: reading 47%, writing 36%, history 34%, math 37%, and science 32%. Chesterfield: reading 71%, writing 63%, history 64%, math 62%, science 64%. And Henrico: reading 70%, writing 61%, history 64%, math 61%, science 65%. Oh, and Hanover, can't forget Hanover, tomatoes, some of the best around. Yum, yum, yum. Reading 81%. Well, they had the best reading score out of all four of them. Writing 61%, history 79%, math 80%, science 74%. Well, it looks like Hanover beat everybody else. Yeah, so Hanover, okay, so listen to this. So for the second year of pandemic testing, Hanover County surpassed the state averages for all accountability tests this year, except for writing. So except for writing, isn't there some kind of writing? There's a writing requirement, I believe, here on the campus of U of R. And they teach these students how to write around here. Yeah, there is a writing requirement, I believe, unless they've changed that. Have they changed that? You don't know, because you graduated a couple of years ago. Well, I don't know either. Well, I don't know because you don't know. But here we are. So, of course, the student scores have slipped, but Hanover, of course, has continued to set the standard and raise the bar, which is what we do here on the show every week. as well, setting the standard and raising the bar. One of the things that I did want to go over, of course, real quickly, is how you can get in touch with the show. Now, I will be opening up the phone lines here again in a few moments. Wait till the songs begin to play. Wait till the songs begin to play if you want to call in and have a cartoon theme request. Because we have some things, some business things back here behind the scenes that we need to take care of. So with that being said, we'll get here to this. Now, this first song comes to us from Deep Cut Dave. And Deep Cut Dave called in last week. And also he submitted 2 songs. Now, one of the songs I have already queued. I believe I know which one it is. So I think this is it. Sports related. Right. So I have the one, but I don't have the other one. But I do have something else lined up that also, because we were talking about, well, when it comes to cartoons, there's been a lot of cartoons that had actual celebrities in the cartoon himself. So because of that, one of the things that I always like to do is I like to go fish out some of these cartoon themes that had an actual actor in them. But Deep Cut Davey sends me a request and he says, hey, why don't you play this? This kind of goes along those lines. And I said, you know what? That sounds fantastic. How many of you guys people remember this? Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, and Bo Jackson. Of course, 3 sports athletes from the early 90s ended up starring in a cartoon. Now, they weren't voiced by the actual they weren't voiced by the actual sports heroes themselves. But the premise of the cartoon was, of course, they were the pro stars. And so starting off this Saturday morning, one of the things that we wanted to do was to play pro stars. And you know what? We'll come back in a few moments. What is it? It's 939 0820220939. That's 0820220939. So that is the time. Currently it's 9:39 here on this 20th day of August 2022. School is back in session. This was crowded as always, so I might be coming in even earlier pretty soon, maybe starting next week, to avoid the traffic and the nonsense of me trying to get in here. Anyways, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. Once again, yep, we can come back at the top of the hour, and we can talk about that then. We'll see. We might come back for one more segment here in this hour. If not, I kind of want to play some cartoon themes. Don't you? Well, no, of course I have this wonderful, beautiful voice. But I want to play cartoon themes. So we're going to play some cartoon themes. I may come back, I may not, but I will come back at the top of next hour. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Twitter, Sam Newsman on YouTube, broadcasting live on YouTube, and the Sam Cam on Instagram. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.